The Ginger Art Center is a community youth and art center in Chinatown North.
We are a third space for youth around Philadelphia. We do frequent free programming, mostly targeted towards high schoolers, but we've had people of all ages come. We have open hours 6 days a week for kids to come in and just use our space. We have a library, we have some couches, we always have free snacks. We just really wanted to create a space where youth feel safe and comfortable because those spaces are really lacking in Philadelphia.
We founded this center after founding SPOC, Students for the Preservation of Chinatown. In our time in SPOC, organizing students on college campuses, we kind of had this turning point of reflecting on what was SPOC's actual purpose.
For our first 2 years of organizing, we were really on the front lines. We were like the first public protest against the arena. We did a lot of teach-ins, educating people about what was happening. And then organizing kind of changed into like more like lobbying city council rather than spreading awareness. And we thought, well, like it's really important to fight off the things that you don't want in your neighborhood, but it's also equally as important to fight for the things that you do want in your neighborhood.
And we wanted to devote a lot of the resources into the Chinatown community, the community that raised us, the community that invested in us.
In particular, we're working really closely with SASA, Students Against Sixers Arena, which is a high school coalition. You know, a lot of these students have helped us build the center, are part of our core staff, and it's really great to see them be a part of it and like feel ownership and pride to have a space for them to like not only hang out, but also just have like a stable place to like do organizing meetings and host events and things like that.
And so we applied to a very fancy grant
from the Leeway Foundation, and fortunately got it.
And we're able to open this center.
When we were thinking about like what to name our center, we really wanted to like pay homage to the Yellow Seeds, which is a youth group that existed in Chinatown in the 70s and did a lot of really important organizing work around the Vine Street Expressway.
And they really brought service and advocacy together, devoting time, energy, resources into the community and opening a open center like the Ginger Art Center.
And so we were like, oh, like what's a plant that's yellow? And then we were like ginger, and like
the fact of like the ginger root is a root system. We come from many different walks of life into this center, and it's also a system, so we're
reliant and connected to community. We were like, oh, like that's perfect because ginger is something that's used in a lot of Asian cooking, but is also like super medicinal, spicy.
And so definitely the history of the Yellow Seeds influenced our founding. I would also say all of our personal experiences, my experience, just because my mom was one of many activists in the stadium and casino fights.
My parents are also longtime Chinatown organizers. My mom in particular, she fought against the stadium in 2000 and the casino in 2008, and I kind of grew up watching her, and I grew up going to FACS, Folk Arts Cultural Treasures Charter School, which is located in Chinatown.
I went to school along with Kaya at the Folk Arts Cultural Treasures Charter School, which my mom is also a founder of. And so
even though I never lived in Chinatown, I still consider it my home. A lot of the people that organized with my mom, I played a part in raising me.
And a lot of like the people in this community were the ones who raised me, who took care of me after school, before school.
Chinatown has kind of just been a constant in my whole life.
I feel like Chinatown is constantly moving forward. We've been talking a lot about in the Ginger Art Center and overall in the Save Chinatown movement, how we transform community movements into political power. This community has known what it's like when you can have thousands of people come out into the street and yet no politician listen to you. And so, not to shout out my own mom, but I'm so proud of her because she became the city's first Asian American woman on city council and led fights that included the Asian American communities and to actually give a voice to them in city council and in city government. I think our fight today with the arena is trying to make sure that our city council member officials that we voted into office are still listening to us.
I think like the building of Ginger Art Center really follows this long tradition in Chinatown of like community-led development, proof that like we don't need like billionaire for-profit developments. The community knows like what it needs, and like we've really been able to like build that for ourselves. And so I think Philly's Chinatown, we have such a long history of resistance, which started with the fight against the Vine Street Expressway. And like even though the Vine Street Expressway was built, the community was able to really fight to shift the placement. If like the past of Chinatown has told me anything, it's given like me hope, I guess, for this like current ongoing fight that we're going through.